powerful. Yeah. He's so vicious. Like his one-punch power at 135 is like nobody else's in the division. Like the way he starches people is crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
He gets so much torque and power into his punches, and he's so fast that he covers ground and his uppercuts, they're just devastating.
Yeah, for sure. I think I can stop him. I'm much quicker than him. He's much stronger, much bigger, but we just gotta wait and see until we get in there and test the waters.
Joe Rogan looked genuinely stunned the moment Gervonta "Tank" Davis stepped into the press room before his exhibition fight with Jake Paul. Gone was the sleek, compact version fans remembered. This time, Davis looked solid, carved, his frame packed with power and definition no one quite expected. Rogan, a man who's seen countless elite athletes up close, couldn't hide his reaction. It wasn't just surprise. It was that rare moment when someone exceeds even the loftiest expectations.
I'm a giant Gervonta fan. I think that guy is so unusual. Yeah. His style's so unusual, and his patience.
The Leo Santa Cruz fight was really something for me, because Leo Santa Cruz is a technician, Mexican style, and the fight was very close before Tank stopped him. But he has that power that can end it.
He finds these openings, and he sees them, but he doesn't go after them right away. He waits for the right time. He's so patient. Like when you watch the early rounds of his fights, he probably has the lowest punch count in the early round. But he also knows he's got that nuclear option, that if he can crack you, most likely he's going to take you out. He's got massive confidence.
During the face-off that followed, Davis seemed almost deliberate in softening his presence. Instead of flexing or striking dominant poses, he stayed calm, almost casual, arms folded loosely, body angled just enough to keep the full picture hidden. It felt purposeful, like he wanted to quiet the attention on his size or conceal just how much he's transformed. But even through the guarded posture, the change was impossible to miss. Joe Rogan noted that Jake Paul's approach isn't purely competitive, it's promotional. He said these matchups are built to hook casual fans, to spark curiosity with their novelty. To Rogan, the betting chatter and hype are less about true sporting value and more about crafting headlines. He believes Jake understands the game perfectly, using boxing not just to fight, but to keep his name burning in the spotlight. Davis, usually a lightweight king around 135 pounds, suddenly faces a very different challenge. Jake Paul, who's fought near the cruiserweight limit in the past. For this bout, they settled on a catch weight of 195 pounds, a number that caught plenty of eyes and raised eyebrows, only finalized after some careful negotiation and back and forth between the camps.
That was Jake Paul promoting it. You know, it's just like, but doesn't bother me.
There's compromising the sport, and that's like bad. It's just like,
if I bet on it,
watching
it is hard.
Watching it with people who are so in on it, and then also man, the sports betting apps, they introduced like chat apps in them in Australia, so it's like they're trying to take the place of social media companies where you go together and you meet your friends. Like betting should be exciting enough without having a weird.
They're just trying to draw you in. Thing. They're just trying to make money, right? So they're trying to draw you in any way they can.
Yeah.
Because of the unusual matchup, the rules for this exhibition are anything but standard. One clear example: both fighters will don 12 ounces gloves, heavier than what Davis usually wears in his lightweight bouts, adding an extra layer of challenge to an already curious fight.
You were yelling so much about him fight somebody your size. His next opponent is, by far, the most credentialed guy ever fought actively in his prime. There's one problem. He fights at 135 pounds. He fights at 135 pounds.
His trainer, Calvin Ford, openly shared his concerns about the switch, noting that while heavier gloves might soften the impact, they also alter the way punches land and how a fighter must adjust their defenses, a subtle shift that can change everything in the ring.
The Jake Paul versus Tank fight is getting really weird. Gervonta looks scared for his life because the rules are out. They're crazy. Oh, so everyone thought that the fight was at 190. He said it's at 195, and this weight difference is scaring the life out of Little Tank.
Over 10 3-minute rounds.
I said it was 190.
The next dispute comes with the gloves. Little Tank is used to fighting in 8-ounce gloves. Baby glove. This fight will be in 12. Hands might be too small. Also, Tank just fought in a 12 3-minute round fight against Roach.
Yes, and now he's fighting in 10 3-minute rounds, which isn't too bad. Well done, Jake.
Exhibition though, can he win?
Yes, he can actually win. It will be overlooked by 3 sanctioned judges.
So he can actually still win and knock him out.
But here's the trick. It's body punches only.
And there's a reason. That's because Tank said, look, this is a bit unfair. I don't want to punch up. I want to punch at my head height. Where does it fall?
At Jake Paul's belly.
Oof.
So apparently we've heard there's no knockdown rules, but aside from that, it's a pretty well-rounded fight. Oh yeah, and there's some drug testing involved.
But Jake Paul for the win.
Teddy Atlas weighed in on the face-off between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis, zeroing in on the striking size difference. He joked that Tank looks so tiny next to Jake, he'd need a ladder just to reach his chin. While Atlas acknowledges that skill and style always play a role in boxing, he insists that this particular size gap pushes the limits beyond what's usual in the sport.
My only concern is, you know, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds away from Jake. He fights in 10s. Tank fighting 8s, so he losing 4 ounces. So my thing is, I said, they said, put Tank in 8s, put him in 10s. That makes the fight more interesting. You know what I'm saying? And we'll go from there because I understand. And I brought that question up to one of his handlers. They was, no, we don't want to do no mixed match. It's supposed to be an expedition. Why does it matter? What, you know, now y'all want the wins and the loss. You know what I'm saying? All these prescriptions, but you want to be great. Being great is really pushing the envelope. You know what I'm saying? You know, Tank don't really care, you know. So when I brought this up, he said, dang, facts. You know what I'm saying? So, again, you know, he can weigh the 10s and we weigh the 8s. Then we got to fight.
He draws a comparison to Canelo Alvarez moving up to face Terrence Crawford, but quickly notes the difference. Crawford was never truly that small, whereas Tank is physically too slight to land effectively on Jake, making the matchup feel lopsided from the outset. Fans, media, and analysts alike have voiced concerns over whether the fight is fair or even safe, given the stark size gap. The controversy isn't just about Davis. It also questions how the bout is framed, whether safety is being prioritized, and what this could mean for future exhibition or celebrity-tinged fights. Joe Rogan stands among those highlighting just how uncharted and unusual this territory is for boxing.
Right? They should also have like the size of the ring, the size of the glove, all that stuff. Particulars should be in the contract. But I would probably look for one thing that is not the common thing to have in a contract if I'm Tank. A ladder. A ladder. Can I get a ladder? Somebody? You know what I mean? Hey, look, if he hits him on the chin the way he can punch, Jake might be doing a dance. You know what I mean? Not voluntarily either. But we'll get into that more later. The thing that I'm talking about right here is what you said. It was stark. The size difference was really, you couldn't ignore it. We understand the talent difference, the experience difference. We understand all of that. But the size, the pure, and we understand small guys can beat big guys. We just saw Crawford do it to Canelo, but you know, a little different. The size difference was, I mean, it was eye-catching, jaw-dropping. And it made me think, and I'm going to ask Richie, our man here who's doing all the taping, who does such a marvelous job. I'm going to ask him, because I know he's an expert in this area, but it reminded me of one of the Rocky movies where they had the face, where they did the wrestling thing with Rocky and Hulk Hogan, a.k.a. Thunderlips. He was Thunderlips back there. And I thought I had it right, and it was confirmed to me. It's Rocky III.
Dana White hasn't held back in sharing his doubts about the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis clash. He criticized Paul for handpicking opponents, insisting he should face someone closer to his own size. White even likened Davis's power to Floyd Mayweather's, claiming Tank hits far harder, yet emphasized that his smaller frame leaves him vulnerable, allowing Paul to potentially use his size to dominate. He was straightforward, insisting, "You guys need to fight guys your same size."
Jake Paul, I think when he weighed in for Mike Tyson, was 227 pounds. That is, if I'm not mistaken, a 92-pound weight difference. It's insane. That is called one thing. That's called being a bully.
Joe Rogan has long expressed deep respect for Davis, admiring both his skill and his ascent in the boxing world. After Tank knocked out Rolando Romero, Rogan hailed him as a rising superstar, highlighting his knack for creating moments of power and flair that demand attention. Following the Davis versus Ryan Garcia bout, Rogan remarked on how intimidating Davis can be in the ring. Quietly dangerous, the kind of fighter who might begin cautiously, but always carries the looming threat of serious damage.
Tank is one of the most interesting fighters to watch because he's so different. His style is so different. You know, he's so economical. Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then starts to figure holes out, and the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Yeah, he very explosive. He's very explosive, and man, he be cracking them dudes.
People.
Hey, he be putting them to sleep.
Just cracking people.
Yeah.
And he has so much confidence in his power. So much confidence in his power.
You know, he just, in his mind, he know it's a matter of time before I catch you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Tank, you know, these fighters. You got to be aware 15 rounds. I know you're going 12, but you got to think you're going 3 more because one slip, one mistake, and it's over.
Yeah.
You know, so hats off to Tank. You know, he's a great, talented fighter. But again, he haven't faced the top elite fighters in his division.
Right.
You know, so we want to see Tank against, you know, somebody his size, you know, at the elite level.
Yeah.
And I believe he'll do good because, you know, he got the skills, the power, he got the ring IQ to do good, but we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, he's also wild. He's a wild fella, so he's fun to watch. You know, he's just a crazy dude, you know.
Yeah. Coming from Baltimore, man, I think that's just his upbringing as well.
Yes, for sure. He's just so unique in his approach. Like, you know, he doesn't fight like anybody else.
Yeah. There's mounting indication that Davis plans to hang up his gloves after his upcoming exhibition with Jake Paul, driven largely by the pursuit of financial security. Tank himself has voiced frustration with the sport, calling it dead and criticizing its lack of loyalty. His trainer, Calvin Ford, confirmed that Tank chose the Paul fight over more competitive rematches because the payday was far greater. Beyond the money, hints suggest he's simply exhausted by the physical, emotional, and mental toll boxing demands. Recent remarks make it clear he's ready to step away, signaling this fight as his final bow, a chance to retreat from the spotlight and focus on family and life beyond the ring.
Like that Ryan Garcia one, where Gervonta Davis caught him with that left hook to the body. People were saying that he quit.
No.
He never been hit in the liver. Oscar De La Hoya quit the same way with Bernard Hopkins.
With the same thing.
Same body shot.
Same
left hook
body
to the
shot.
body.
And he tried to come, and he tried to take a step out that corner and not the front of his foot even moved. He just went down. He's like, man, this is it.
And if you get kicked to the body.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. A kick to the body is so goddamn devastating, especially a spinning back kick. You could literally pick someone up in the air. It's like they got hit by a car.
Any kick to that.
It's really something to see a kid who has nothing, born into extreme poverty, become a world champion, like Gervonta Davis.
Yeah.
It's an inspiring story.
It is, and it's great for everyone because it gives you fuel. Like for a person who's coming up in life, even if you're not a fighter, you see what someone's gone through and you see the success that hard work has created.
Right.
And it can be a roadmap for your own life.
Meanwhile, actor and martial artist Michael Jai White chimed in on the debate, asserting that no matter the hype or performance, Jake Paul can't be seen as a legitimate boxing champion. White drew a clear line between exhibition or crossover bouts and official championship fights recognized by major boxing authorities. His perspective mirrors a wider feeling among pro fighters and fans alike. Paul's matches are entertainment first, not a showcase of true championship skill, fueling the skepticism surrounding the legitimacy of this fight.
Go band for band on what you making. Again, there's nothing wrong with Tank going to get his money, but let's all be clear that that's all the fight is for Tank. He's telling you without telling you that he's fighting Jake just because he's getting $40 million. So when we talk about boxing being dead, Tank has to line up at the front of the line. I can't blame him, but don't throw around, oh, boxing's dead and people switch sides and all of that. You chose not to be great. That's it. You chose not to be great. Stuff like that, choices like that will kill boxing, for sure. On a competitive level, it won't kill it on a business level. On a business level, until people run out of interest in these kind of matchups, it'll do well. On a competitive level, choosing not to fight the best will kill the sport. So maybe it's better if people like Tank aren't in the sport. And I don't even say that because I want that to be the case. I think Tank is ridiculously talented, but you can't want a fighter to fight more than what they want to. You can't. Tank fans or Tank people that like Tank and think he's one of the best, you can't want it for him. And then Shakur came back with, that's how I know you soft. I can't even go back and forth with you soft ass. You rather pop to me on social media than get in that fire and get embarrassed. I get it. Peace and blessings upon you, cuz. He says, the people got you chest out so bad. You talking like you a killer, forgetting that you the one that runs, bitch. I'll be bring the fight to you. This dude, a made-up character. Quote, blessings upon you. Clown-ass dude, wanna be Kevin Gates? Oh, my goodness. I mean, here's the thing, though. You can't say that stuff about Shakur if you're not willing to fight him. This is the point I think that we're going to come to today, is that Tank can say all this stuff he wants, but if you're not willing to fight Shakur, then none of it means anything anymore. Even if you believe that Tank is going to knock him out, even if you believe that Shakur's a runner, or that he's not in the trenches, or he's not a boxer that's willing to bring the fight, or whatever, none of it matters. You're talking from the sideline, because you won't fight.
Commentator Showbiz pointed out that, unconventional as it may be, the fight is almost guaranteed to draw huge attention. Tank's recent hints about possibly stepping away from boxing have sparked speculation among fans about whether the matchup will even happen. Meanwhile, the back and forth between Tank and Shakur Stevenson on platforms like X has intensified doubts, as each fires pointed remarks questioning the other's skills. This unfolding drama layers unpredictability onto the sport, merging pure entertainment with the suspense of competition.
Do you think that Jake Paul could win a legitimate boxing title?
No, no. Because he's so far behind someone of his equal age who's been doing it for a very long time. He started very late. That's why I applaud exactly what he's doing. I think he should be doing exactly what he's doing. If he fought a legitimate, top 10 cruiserweight, I will shut the if he's able to fight an actual contender of the top 10. That would be astonishing if he can get to that point. If he beat anybody in the top 10, that would be, to me, the greatest thing he's ever accomplished.
Yeah, because historically he's fought old men.
I think he's done it the right way, because there's a possibility where a 50-year-old Anderson Silva might be able to beat him. Who thought he was going to beat Tyson? I really thought, oh, Tyson's just going to go to the body and just punish his body, because I thought that that's what would win him the thing, but he did not do that. I think it makes for a good matchup. He's made for great spectacle.
Many analysts suggest that in his recent bouts, Gervonta Davis isn't chasing legacy or seeking the toughest challenges in the sport. He's focused on financial reward. They point to his matchup with Jake Paul as a clear example. Davis appears motivated more by the purse than by prestige or competitive honor. To get him to face elite opponents like Shakur Stevenson or Lamont Roach, promoters such as Turk would need to offer paydays on the scale of mega events. Think Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. At this stage, it seems money has become Davis's main driver, eclipsing the pursuit of glory or traditional sporting accolades.
Do we think the fight is ridiculous between you and Jake Paul? Yes. Are we going to watch it? Yeah. Do we like it? Maybe. Maybe. And let me tell you why it's maybe, why it's not no, why it's not yes. It's maybe because many of us, we just don't believe it. We just don't believe the fight is real. We know it's an exhibition, but we just don't believe that you two are going to try to take each other's heads off. Other than that, it's kind of interesting. You have a 5'5" lightweight versus a heavyweight Jake Paul, who's really not a boxer with an amateur background and all that shit, but he's been knocking people out. It's kind of interesting if we know y'all were trying to knock each other's head off.
However, Tank Davis fired back at fans questioning whether he's avoiding top fighters like Shakur Stevenson. He made it clear that public opinion doesn't sway him, pointing out how quickly loyalties can change after just one underwhelming performance. Tank emphasized that his attention is firmly on his own career and personal ambitions, not on appeasing every critic or fan.
Look at how Tank started acting after he made $40 million with Ryan. When he make another $40+ million with Jake,
he's gonna go make $40 million fighting Jake Paul, and then he's gonna come back and fight Lamont Rowe for what? He's gonna come back and fight Shakur Stevenson for what? He's not gonna fight none of those guys.
No, the only way he fight any of them guys, Turkey gonna have to hit him with the Crawford money. Cause that's the thing. You do this for a reason, bro. Like, I get it. You want him to be competitive, but his goal is money. He made 40 with Ryan plus everything in between. Now he get this 40, 50 million plus. He don't even gotta fight no more. So now if you want him to fight Shakur, give me that Canelo.
What do you think? Is Gervonta Davis choosing wisely by prioritizing financial gain over legacy? Share your take in the comments below.